All right, let's go to the Voice to Parliament now. And campaigners for a yes vote are in Adelaide today for the launch of their campaign, or one of what could be many disparate yes campaigns, I suppose, throughout the year. It comes as federal Indigenous Senator Lydia Thorpe has warned the debate is about more than just the yes or no campaigns. Our Voice and Referendum correspondent Dan Borscher joins us now from Gunner Country in Adelaide. Dan, welcome back to the program. Fill us in. What exactly is happening where you are?
Greg, great to be with you. Well, you can hear right now that preparations are in full swing ahead of this field launch here in Adelaide on Gunner Country, as you mentioned, where the Tandanya National Aboriginal Cultural Institute here deliberately chosen as a central point to communicate what's happening right now. And over the last couple of days, there have been many hundreds of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, as well as community members from across the board, gathering here to have a conversation about how to communicate about the voice going forward as part of this campaign that's really going to be kicking off in the next little while. We'll see a number of key speeches here, including from prominent Indigenous filmmaker Rachel Perkins, as well as Dean Parker, who's leading the campaign of From the Heart.
Yeah, I'm sure there's an overwhelming flavour of support, as you would expect through a yes campaign. But on the flip side of that, Dan, Lydia Thorpe, Senator Thorpe, now independent, has expressed her views quite expansively today about what lies ahead in this process, coming at it, well, we can't say from a no perspective, but an ambivalent one at best. How do we characterise her contribution?
Well, there is a clear reason why now independent Senator Lydia Thorpe spoke today. Of course, the focus of this day and of this week has been about the Yes campaign. We've heard it from the government that there would be this week of action and the start of thousands of conversations that, of course, is well and truly underway. This morning, the former Green Senator, First Nations spokesperson for the Greens and now independent Senator, who launched really her shift in politics around that whole discussion of black sovereignty, spoke in a very impassioned plea on Radio National, saying that it's not just about yes and no, that there is a, quote, progressive no campaign, and that chief amongst that is around treaty and around this conversation of broader sovereignty as well. Here's a little of what she had to say.
That's part of the problem, that, you know, if you vote no, then you're going to stand with Peter Dutton or Pauline Hanson. So that is another way, taking away the voice of those grassroots blackfellas who have a progressive no that the white progressives don't want to hear. And I feel that the PM is talking to, you know, forked tongues, basically. He's saying to the Conservatives, look, it's okay, everybody. It has no power. We will have the ultimate power. They're just an advisory body. And then he goes to the black people and he says, this is going to save the world.
Senator Thorpe also went further and said that she's not going to be divisive, as some have categorised her. And in fact, she met with Professor Megan Davis from the Yes campaign last night. They had conversations that she wouldn't go into detail about. But the real crux here is what Senator Thorpe says is a focus around grassroots. She's called again for there to be a complete focus on the Royal Commission into Aboriginal Deaths in Custody, which was handed down more than 30 years ago. Many of the recommendations still left incomplete. So that's certainly what we know Lydia Thorpe will be campaigning on. She says she still hasn't made a decision about whether or not she's going to support the Voice. Meanwhile, Greg, we know that many in the different no campaigns have been focusing their energy on Western Australia. That's been a real focal point this week. I was speaking to Warren Mundine just a little earlier, and he said what's really surprised him is how many people that he has met who are either asking what it means, what it could look like, or why, the big why behind this. So, of course, we will be covering the No campaign in the same way when and if the campaign announces that they'll do an event like this. We are still waiting, and of course, we'll bring that to your audience the moment we hear more. For now, though, this event's is going to kick off in the next little while, Greg.
Yeah, as you would expect, Dan. Equal coverage as best we can throughout. Thanks so much for that update there from Adelaide on Gunner Country, Dan Borscher.